Okay, I've got a new stove that I want to work with here. Show everybody a little bit about it. This is, let me take the pot stand off. This is my homemade version of Tinny's M-type stove, where it has a cylinder and a mushroom type top base. This is all made out of stuff I just had here in the basement. I'm a big fan of the M stoves, but I thought I could try and make my own. It took me 2 days to get this thing finally built. A lot of the parts are hard drive parts out of a computer hard drive. The top and the bottoms are both computer hard drive. The center is just an aluminum pipe I had, and then of course the carbon felt. And the nipple is from Tinny. I bought a couple nipples from Tinny in the past, and I couldn't get it to screw in very well, so I had to JB weld it in there. The aluminum pipe doesn't have enough thickness to it to hold the threads, so I just JB welded it in, and it's working, but it's not perfect. But I want to go ahead and do a burn on it and show you how it all works, and show you my homemade M stove, or I guess since they're not mini bolt design stoves, they're Digitizer 101 stove. We'll call them the D stove. How about that? We've got water sitting at 58 degrees right now. 2 cups of water. So I'm gonna put this in the back here because it tends to get in the way if it's in the front. I think you guys will be able to see it, especially if I kick the lights down once I get it going here. Alright, we're going to fuel this up. Actually, it's easier to see when you have the... You can see it starting to glisten a little bit. Get it to glisten all the way out to the edges. Just get it back down a little bit there. Alright, that should be fully fueled. Get this on here before I light it so I don't burn myself. I'll go ahead and put the pot on right now, and we'll see how long it takes to come to a boil. Alright, I'm going to start the timer. Or not. Okay, we'll add 10 seconds to whatever we do here. There it goes. Alright, so we were about 57, well no, temperature's not right because I got it out, but it was about 58 I think when I started it. And of course that's right in the shadow of the I can never tell if it's getting too much light on it or not. There we go. And let me turn the light down so you can see the flame pattern. Alright, there we go. Not really centered up very well. And I got a little bit of wind in here. I'm in the basement, and the garage door's got a little crack open in it, so that just can breathe a little bit, don't get too many fumes. This is a Boy Scout pot. Holds just over 2 cups. 2 cups would be right about at the bottom, at the top of these bolts holding the handle in. So we'll let her go there and see how long it takes to boil 2 cups with this type of stove. Got a couple other stoves I've been working on. One that I'm really excited about. I'm going to show you a little bit of, just show you real quick in this video, but then I'll make another video later. This, I always stand right in front of the only light source. So this is the stove and its container and everything in it. So in the next video I'm going to show you that. It's pretty awesome. I've been working on it for a little while trying to figure out how to make it work just right, and it's a pretty neat stove. We'll do some videos on that in just a little while here. Working on building another one of these types of M stoves, or as I mentioned before, a D stove, because M would indicate mini bowl design, but this is going to be a Digitizer 101 stove. Homemade, and not near as quality that Tinny makes. Mine are all just JB welded together. I don't have the silicone seal between the top and bottom. I don't know that it makes a difference for this or not. We will find out in the long run here how long it burns. And I'm just starting to run out of fuel there, so I just want to... it's funny that the other sides are all fuel, but this side's not, so I'm guessing it's just the way that carbon felt is tilted a little bit. If it tends to tilt up on one side, that side just doesn't get the fluid as much as the others. You don't want to overrun it though, because it'll drip right down the side if you put too much in there. So you have to be careful not to overfuel this thing. There we go. That should be just about perfect. Burns off a lot of fuel. Let's see how hot that's getting my... No, it's fine. Just want to make sure I'm not burning my... Let's just do this. Turn that a little bit. Maybe even zoom out a little bit. Then I can slide that over a little bit. There we go. I want to show you something real quick here. I went online the other day and Tinny suggested this place called Zelf Stoves for some pots and a couple different things. They had a cap for pots. So I already have a lot of pots. And I didn't see a need to buy one right now from Zelf. $17 was a little bit more than I want to spend on a pot when I can buy a Snow Peak 600 or 700 for $25. Just seemed like an aluminum can pot. Maybe not, I don't know. So I bought the lid that he sells because I wanted to see how that fit. The brown lid that he sells. It's an interesting lid. It actually fits over my pot I currently have with the lid and the ring in it. So I have my lid on my pot and can get the lid right over the top of all of that, and it holds it all together, which is nice. So I really like that. It says top paw on the top of it. I'm not sure if that means this is some kind of dog food container lid. Obviously it doesn't have, it's brand new, so it has never had any dog food in it. Ooh, we got a start of a boil here already. What are we at? 450 coming up here. And we're running out of fuel too. It would help if I kept the fuel fully lit up. Probably would have got to a boil already. So yeah, we're at the start of a boil at about 450, and we are a rolling boil at 5. So that's a pretty quick little stove for a small pot like this. Pretty stable. I do like that the micro line that Tinny sells. I think that might be better than this old line that he used to sell. This is some of his older line. It's a little too strong, and when you move the fuel around, you tend to move the stove around, see? And it just makes you nervous that you're going to tip it over. So that got to boil in 5 minutes, and obviously it'll run on for as long as you want to, because you can just keep adding fuel in. I don't even think I used, I just filled it up, but it wasn't even a half of an ounce when it got to a boil there, so that's good. I also wanted to show you, I usually use the wick on my pots, but I wanted to try Zelf's little snap silicone ring. So I picked one up, thought it'd be kind of cool, and you know, it snaps on there pretty cool, and it's silicone. To me, what it looks like is, I know that as kids we used to have these snap rings all the time. We used to play with them and slap them on each other, until one day there was a big news thing that came out that said that kids were dying from them because they were slapping them and cutting each other's wrists, and it was causing people to die. You know, big prank like everything else out there. It wasn't true. No one ever got killed by one of these, I seriously doubt. I don't know that for a fact, but anyways, this right here, it looked to me exactly like that, but the silicone on there looks like Zelf put it on himself. It looks like the dip silicone, or the Mr. Plastic Dip, or whatever it is. I think that is silicone, and I think it's the same stuff that I used in the video that I did for my skillet, when I put the rubber on the side of it there. I don't know, maybe not though. This is pretty tough compared to what he has, so maybe not the same. Not sure, but it does look like it's homemade, because you can see there's a little divot in there, and the ends are a little rough. So it does look homemade. It doesn't look like it's factory made in China or anything. So anyways, looks pretty neat, and I have to actually try it on a actual stove and see how it works, but it slaps on and you can put it just about anywhere you want. As far as he was saying with the wick getting wet, well, they do get wet. I agree with him there, especially when you're making coffee in a pot. The coffee boils over the edge, this gets wet, and once the wick is wet, it's useless. You cannot grab it at that point anymore because a wet wick will be boiling hot just like the inside of the can. If you don't have something between the can and the wick. Now I've put this hardware mesh between mine. So if it gets wet, I'm not actually touching the same heat as the inside because the heat transfers right through it when they're wet. But when I put the hardware mesh in between there, it gives that air gap, not much, but a little bit, and it doesn't tend to get as bad. So that's one way to get around that. And the other way would be to do like he has here, is to get this. So yeah, and maybe, you know, I know Smokey Nary says you can pour without spilling anything down the side, and you can, but you can also spill stuff. I know because I spill stuff all the time. So anyways, that's this video on this stove. I'm going to let you guys go. You can see it kind of simmers in the center like that for a while once it's burned down because there's a lot of fuel down in the center. It's my my knockoff of Tinny's M1. Great idea, Tinny. Just don't have the money to buy one right now, so I had to make my own. Thanks, everyone. New video coming up shortly for one of my coolest stoves I think I've ever made. I'll show you when I get there.